Let's get right out to NBC 10's Erin Coogan. She's been on the scene for us and has an update live from New London. Erin?
Yeah, guys, the extent of damage really put into perspective when you see these 40 to 50-foot piles of rubble standing above me. Storm conditions here in Narragansett, light years better than they were even just 30 minutes ago when I could literally wring the rain out of my coat. 24 hours after this crash, and I want to show you what remains. We've got shards of glass, twisted pieces of metal, and I can say that this snowfall has been the most consistent that I've seen in those 12 months. And that 6-year-old confirmed dead, found on the Barrowsville Pond side. Take a look, you can see crews have boarded up some of those blown out windows. There's obvious charring on the side of the building. Up until just a few moments ago, we had crews working amongst the debris here. We've been watching crews with the medical examiner's office come in and out, hauling out body bag after body bag. Same story here, whipping winds and massive waves. It's the beauty of basketball, right? Everything's inside. You're next to a couple thousand of your closest friends. Erin Coogan with NBC 10 here. An hours-long investigation continues here on Cheyenne Trail in West Greenwich. Here's what you need to know if you are heading down to the stadium tomorrow. Warning to all Apple and Android users, don't text each other, at least not without the proper safeguards.
To find out that the kids were reinstated, to find out in the way that we did, and for the victim to have to find out in the way that he did.
Calls made. This message is for voicemails left. Our attempts to reach Smithfield Superintendent Don Bartz to answer these questions as to why several Smithfield High School student athletes involved in alleged anti-Semitic hazing were allowed to return to the team. The response, one sentence, quote, "The disciplinary process has concluded, and we will not be discussing details involving students," end quote.
From our understanding, 5 members of the football team locked this Jewish freshman student in a bathroom, sprayed Lysol into the grate and into the bathroom, and yelled anti-Semitic epithets at the student.
Adam Greenman is the president and CEO of the Jewish Alliance of Rhode Island. He's been working with the victim and his family alongside members of the Smithfield School District to respond to the incident that happened in late September. An investigation was conducted by the school district, and 5 senior student athletes had their seasons cut short. They had even called on the Alliance's partner organization, the Sandra Bornstein Holocaust Education Center, to host sensitivity trainings for both the students involved as well as the wider school community. Tuesday was the first of those sessions, and not even 24 hours later, and the student athletes were back on the team, prompting mixed reaction from Smithfield students and parents.
I was surprised. I had 3 kids that went to Smithfield High School, and they all had great experiences, all played sports. Never heard of this before, but times are changing.
I mean, they're seniors. Like, they're about to make it to their senior night. I know that, like, what they did was, like, bad, but I think they deserve to finish out the season.
Meanwhile, those sensitivity trainings were scheduled to continue for the coming weeks. No word if the district is going to continue with them. Reporting live in Smithfield, Erin Coogan, NBC 10 News. New Bedford's House of Hope.
Anybody that walks through those doors, we will help.
Its mission statement clear in its name. Folks trying to get back on their feet, get a roof over their heads, and 3 hot meals a day, thanks to the pooling of SNAP benefits from the house's more than 50 residents.
I'm very, very worried about the upcoming month and how we're going to be able to make ends meet. We'll make it work. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to feed people, but it's just, it borders on criminal to do this to your people.
Robert Hughes is a veteran, the director of the House of Hope, and a SNAP beneficiary himself.
I personally, with my family, I'm raising a 12-year-old boy, my wife and I, and we're raising a 12-year-old grandson, and we depend on that to feed him. We're not eating in luxury. We don't eat high-end. We barely get by, but we're able to eat.
He admits while an uncertain time for him, it's residents like Joseph Pitaro, who relies on SNAP and is currently undergoing cancer treatment, who's going to feel the freeze the most.
You gotta have food, you gotta eat.
And it's the reason Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey is releasing an additional $4 million from the state's emergency food assistance program to local food banks. Take a look. Like many community resource organizations, it's already empty shelves at the local Catholic Charities food pantry as SNAP beneficiaries stock up ahead of the freeze.
With the stock now, I just did inventory earlier, it would last us our opening on Wednesday.
Meanwhile, a federal lawsuit brought on by 25 states, including Massachusetts and Rhode Island, urging the Trump administration release USDA contingency funds to support SNAP beneficiaries during the shutdown now awaits consideration.
Tonight, a family from East Greenwich is thankful to be celebrating Easter together. It was just 24 hours ago when crews rescued a husband and wife from the frigid waters of Narragansett Bay after their small plane lost power, forcing an emergency landing just a few hundred feet from the Quonset State Airport. NBC 10's Erin Coogan sat down with the plane's pilot, who shares the couple's incredible story of survival. Erin.
Yeah, well, Sam, it's a story of both physical and mental perseverance. Paul and Alicia Larson, both avid aviators and the parents of 5 children. They say the combined years of aviation training, instinct, and an unwavering will to live all contributed to them being able to reunite with their family today.
There was a moment where I was like, I'm not sure if we're going to make it. And then I'm like, nope, we're not going to die today. We're going to make it.
For Paul and Alicia Larson, failure was never an option. Married 26 years, the two refused to leave each other's sides, together facing any pilot's worst nightmare.
We were on a half-mile final. We were so close to the runway. When I suddenly sought to add a little bit of power to gain a little bit of height, and I had no power, realizing we weren't going to make the runway.
The aircraft, Alicia's late father's single-engine 2-passenger Comanche, which she says she grew up riding in as a young girl in Pennsylvania. Able to remain calm, the couple, both volunteers with the Civil Air Patrol, sent a mayday call to control towers at Quonset. They reviewed their emergency checklists and braced for impact into Narragansett Bay. Larson credits quick thinking by her husband as the first crucial key to their survival.
He had the mindset, he had the foresight to unlatch and open the door before impact, which may have saved our lives because you never know, if you can't get the door open against the water pressure, that would have been an entirely different scenario. And the Piper Comanche only has one exit. It has one door on the passenger side. Once
in the bay, the plane quickly took on water. Copious training for events just like this kicking into action.
And we both took a wing. We were both on the separate right and left wings. The nose was nose down and taking on water rapidly. So the airplane was like this. And then it started to really go quickly. And then the tail was coming up out of the water. So by the very end, we were just kind of hanging on to the tail.
Alicia, able to escape with her phone tucked in her shirt, placed a call to 911. North Kingstown emergency crews launching their marine response just before 3 in the afternoon. Still, in the upwards of 20 minutes that the two were in the water, they worked together as a well-oiled machine to determine the best course of action, waiting for rescue crews to assist them.
I was ready to start swimming immediately. He said, no, we have to stay with the aircraft and out of the water as long as possible. So I followed his lead on that.
Soon the plane was fully submerged. The U.S. Coast Guard now confirming it lies in 2 pieces at the bottom of the bay. The couple started to swim about a quarter mile in when Alicia noticed her husband was getting tired.
There was a moment where I was like, are we going to be, can I tow Paul? I'm about to, he had a lot more clothing on. He had a leather jacket on. So it was harder. It was harder for him.
Crews with North Kingstown Fire, Police, the U.S. Coast Guard, and DEM assisted in the rescue. Both were pulled from the water with minor injuries before being brought to Rhode Island Hospital for potential cold shock. The two were released and reunited with their family late Saturday night.
Seeing all 5 of my kids and my son-in-law definitely gave an overwhelming sense of gratitude.
Now, Alicia says tonight she's crediting those hours of training and her strong faith in allowing for that reunion. She says, as an aviator, you always know the inherent risk of going up into the air, and even now, the couple will not be stopped from flying in the future. Live tonight, Erin Coogan, NBC 10 News.